poetry was just for black people. I was ignorant and new. But I learned that if you have a soul, then you are a poet. And the color of your skin is just the ink you use in your pen. Your experiences are the letters of the words with which you write, and the world you live in is your canvas. Now, I see dreams being reached as if poetry were that lottery ticket that you won last week. And the winning numbers is that piece that you wrote that week. I hear pain and survival as if the mic were World War III. And words pierce through every audience member, causing bones to break, fingers to snap, jaws to drop, and thank yous released from their mouths because you just saved their life. I hear fearlessness in the tone of your iambic pentameter. I used to think my life was just a mess until I found the words to save myself. I feel love and passion, that poets love, that real love, that I didn't know love until I met you kind of love. That there aren't any words in the dictionary that describe how I feel about you. So when I see you, I stay quiet and let my heart speak us into existence kind of love. And sometimes that love shit, it gets old, but usually when you stand naked on this stage, day after day after day, then you have to love it. And sometimes, just sometimes, the only way to love is to write and to write and to write, then speak that love into the atmosphere until forever becomes today, because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. It's never guaranteed. So never forget that you are a poet. Not bound by the color of your skin, we bleed the same shade of red. So when you step up onto this stage, bruised, scarred, and wanting to be heard, leave a little of your shade on the mic, and you'll never be missed. Word. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That first piece is titled Shade. It's a piece I wrote when I first moved to Boston and got to experience my first National Poetry Slam when Boston hosted it in 2013. And I had never heard of slam poetry before I moved to Boston. I lived in Iowa where I was studying, getting a master's in education. And came out here because I got a job at Berkeley and was a part of a poetry collective there and did performance spoken word, but had never heard of slam. And that scene, if it wasn't for the artist scene in Boston, I would have left Boston quickly. Boston was not my favorite. I was this kid that majority of my adult life I spent in the Midwest. From before that I was in Minneapolis, before that Ohio, before that Detroit. So I spent so much time in small college towns, and just I had to understand people in Boston for it. Like I just had to get warm up. I was like, y'all are nice, just in y'all own way. So I see you, cool. I can make sense of this. So it's been a wild journey, and throughout my time here, I've stumbled upon some incredible friends who are also peers in the industry, and it's been amazing to grow. So do some more songs. This next piece is titled Morning Dew, and just want you to vibe out. Chris Hamlin on the keys. Word. Thank you. You ever just like wake up thankful? I feel like that song is like, I woke up thankful today. Like, appreciative for the life that I have, the privileges that I live with, the experiences that I get to have, the people that are in my life. Sometimes life is shitty, but for the most part, pretty thankful for my life, and I feel like that song reflects that feeling. So I hope that you all can appreciate the lives that you have and find that song that you wake up to in the morning like, I'm on the right side of the bed. You got like music playing in your head, people are looking at you weird, you're up here like, giving them the wink and the gun, they're like, what are you doing? That kind of day. Like sometimes we just need some goodness. We've been through some stuff over these last few years, haven't we? Have we not? So this next piece is titled Picture Perfect, and it is a piece that I wrote as a reflection on the love that my parents showed and as I grew up. My dad is originally from Savannah, Georgia. My mom is from Detroit. They met at a McDonald's. And my mom was with my younger sister. We have different fathers, but both my parents come from a Christian background, church kids, and apparently my dad spit some church game and was like, let me take you to church someday, girl. And then, you know, the butterflies and the bees and all that, the storks and dropping the babies and whatnot, but very appreciative for the life that they've provided me and an example of love that they shared for me and my siblings. I think they're celebrating 39 years of marriage next year, so very appreciative for having them around still. So this is titled Picture Perfect. I want to fall for the you I don't know yet. So I can remember this wonderful life that we've shared together. I want to fall for the you I don't know yet. Because time tells stories of our past. Plots thicken as we fall down, but healing is reserved for those courageous enough to be vulnerable. I want to fall for the you I don't know yet. So let me push you when you're weak and encourage you when you're tired. Praise your accomplishments, find correlations between your will and your stubbornness. And never forget that the core of our relationship is rooted in acceptance. Flaws are common, but sometimes love isn't. When I fall for the you I don't know yet, so I can remember what scared feels like. Allow it to remind my mind that I'm still alive and that you're really real. I don't think my imagination is playing tricks on me, so I must be doing something right to have met the woman in my dreams. You scare me. want to fall for the you I don't know yet. Because the past, present, and future are the binary of our lifetime. We don't have to be who we were yesterday, but tomorrow is dependent on who we are today. So actually, I love the you I know right now. The past that I hear yet don't see. The future that we will reach, the restraints that we will breach because of our love. Our love is essentially the replication of a time machine, playing our best and worst moments over and over and over again. It's the only way to eternally engrave our love into the DNA of our children. So I will say this time and the next that I will love you until our molecules evaporate into the canvas skyline, perfectly painted into infinity and preserved forever in the painting hanging above our grandchildren's mantle. Thank you. Ryan Reverser. Hope that we all have at some point experienced love in our life. I hope for you to experience the love that you deserve and want out of this world. So thank you. That's titled Picture Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. A lot of my work stems from, I think my glass is half full mentality, very positive and optimistic person. And I like to acknowledge the beautiful moments in my world and the things that I observe, and have a really cool perspective and introspection about it. And I found that poetry has offered me a platform to communicate my emotions and feelings in a really different way than playing saxophone. But saxophone was the first. It was the foundation. It was the thing that held me down from the beginning. Fourth grade, what? So this next piece is titled Dad Did, because my father has played such an incredible role in my life, an example, and introduced music to me. He's a music head. It's the thing that connects us. So I wrote this just as a thank you to my pops. I remember waiting anxiously for my 4th grade music teacher to call on me and ask the question I had been preparing for all week. What instrument would you like to play? And proudly I said, the saxophone. That was after the drums had already been taken, but still. I knew the sax was a good choice because my dad loved jazz and I wanted to make him proud. See, music set the mood in my house. Some brand new heavies coupled with the smell of eggs and bacon, man. I was doing yard work that morning. Some Kirk Whalum and oatmeal sweet scent, man. I can get an extra hour of sleep and my dad was studying his Bible. The smoky smell of hickory, Earth, Wind, and Fire's September. And cocky laughter meant my dad was full of himself and I was eating barbecue that day. Ooh, this tastes good! Was my cue to run upstairs for a fresh sampling of his creamy mac and cheese right out of the oven. Some good music, a mouthful of food, and a smile on my face was his saving grace. It was his way of showing me why I should be proud of my name. That life is about love and faith. That my word is the most important commitment I could ever make. And if I can get a woman to smile with some creamy mac and cheese, then I can share the same beautiful moment with my kids someday. I never realized this lifelong journey we were on. These long drives down the I-75 to Savannah. Mom, sis, and little brother passed out in the back seat, and my dad ranting about his glory days. How he had this huge collection of albums and dabbled on the trombone. I learned about my past on these trips. That music was a time machine shaping the way we viewed the world, our tour guide, and a lifelong escapade. I learned that music was the muse of my birth, with pockets of soul and rhythm plastered together in brick-sized sound bites. We listened to Miles, Coltrane and Quincy, blues, infusion, hip-hop, and blackness. My dad used music to open my eyes to a life I was meant to live. I gained the courage to be the me I was most afraid of. Be the voice I never thought I had, be the salvation I sometimes forgot to pray about. Be a beautifully scored masterpiece etched into the memory banks of everyone I would meet. Who'd have thought this nervous 4th grader would turn with a heart to make his father proud, would turn into this man full of love and faith, with a commitment as strong as his word, and the ability to cook a smile on that special woman's face. My dad, he did. Word, thank you. Appreciate it. I hope folks have like a memory or a connection to where they first connected with artistry. Like a thing that I really love to talk about in my art is the importance of having some kind of outlet, having some kind of thing that you get to throw life into, even when you get chewed up and spit out. And sometimes you just need a release. You need a thing that speaks to you, that you get to own, not your partner, not your family, not the kids, not your elders or your ancestors, like the thing that you have for you that you get to hold sacred. Music and art and poetry is that thing for me, and I encourage and employ you to find that. And if you haven't, if you have that thing, then nurture it, say what's up, give it a call sometime, check in, and if you haven't, find some. See what speaks to you, and take that on. I'm gonna do a few solo pieces here of work that I'm excited to do because I just haven't done stuff in a while. So y'all down to hear some stuff, some things in the repertoire. Have you started to color me yet? Because I'm a paintbrush stroke away from perfection, an incandescent light bulb away from genius with lines longer than a 9 to 5 and a rock solid will that can't be contained. A baller in this game. With an old soul that can rip words from my heart and supply them to you. With this ability to slang meaning and bring forth newfound light, a spoken thought, I give to you what makes sense in my world. A way to get out and a means to preserve this precious life. So, have you started to color me yet? Because if you haven't, then you should know that my soul shines bright with hues of red, black, and green, and my roots, they run deep. My roots run deep like the pitter-pattered accents of music notes against my ancestors' cheekbones. Brittled hands and crackled feet represented me, reflective of the times when music was used for their survival. Ambient art, articulated by soft silhouettes, a smile who litter a luscious lament of hope for their future offsprings to endure not what they had to. This is the language that my roots speak. And because of their dialect, I can live my dreams, which isn't as hard as it seemed when the roots that run so deep give me the breath to live free. My purpose is to be free. So never mind. I don't need you to color me. Thank you. So these next few pieces speak to the processing of trauma, of systematic oppression, racism, erasure, violence, the things in this world that are hard, the things in this world that I find very challenging to process, and find that poetry allows me to make sense of my own reality, even though it doesn't seem like the things that are going on are real. This next piece is titled Autumn Leaves, and it's a response in 2019, I believe, where I just was at work on Facebook. I don't work in the office no more. So I was at work, and I was on Facebook. And I just saw another black man getting killed, and it just was very difficult to make sense of my reality at that time, and I just needed to leave. I left, and I wrote and cried and felt. This is titled Autumn Leaves. To live in this skin is to fear breathing. Is to have no control over breathing. Is to have 2 puffs left in my inhaler, hesitant to use it, worried I won't be able to breathe someday. To live in this skin is to walk and be watched. Is to grow eyes in the back of my head. Is to be seen always, yet steadily disappear. To live in the skin is to pass along burden to my offspring. Is to teach them to love their shade. Is to have to teach them to love their shade. Is to prepare them for war over loving their shade. To live in the skin is to scream easily. It's to bruise easily. It's to bleed easily. It's to die easily. To live in the skin is to see bodies break like branches, is to see whole forests chopped down out of fear of their growth, out of concern of their seed spreading, out of hope that their roots aren't grounded. But to live in my skin is to know my roots are grounded in the soil rich from the blood of my ancestors. It's to know the families that came before me nourish my tree. It's to see their shade in my bark, their blood in my sap, their tears in my leaves only. To be reminded of the lakes formed from their crying when I see leaves at the feet of trees in autumn. To live in my skin is to keep standing, even when the trees around me are chopped to pieces. It's to know my seeds can't be wiped out of existence. It's to plant my roots in bloodied soil. It's to believe my tears aren't shed in vain, that my leaves shouldn't have to fall in constant mourning, that my life matters. To live in my skin is to grow. Even when the world around me walks past my pile of leaves, staring at their beautiful colors, not realizing they are the reason my leaves fall. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. This next piece is titled I Am Not. And it's a piece that I needed to write to remind myself of who I am and remind myself that I matter. I am not who you say I am. I am not a reflection of your imagination gone running with implications that strap chains of assimilation around my ankles. I am not a martyr of my maleness, a shameless martyr for you to see through. I am not invisible. I am not to be overlooked or underestimated. This is not a conversation nor a debate. I will make you notice me. Black and beautiful can't look through any other view. I will mention it any chance I get, so if that makes you uncomfortable, sit in it. Let it resonate with your conscience and challenge your knowledge ignorance. Take a seat and listen. We have the same heartbeat. Breathe the same air, but the stairs, those are different. Eyes seem to constantly watch me. My actions are recorded and analyzed, hypothesized to see if I will make the same mistakes in a system that was built for me to fail in. But I need you to stop looking. Stop hoping I will fall for your tricks, your desires for black men to sink to the bottom of the barrel only to hold my brothers back. My life is worth more than coffin cases dug 6 feet deep. More than low expectations and high arrest rates, more than silent eyes and rigid spines when in my presence, but I understand that presence has you scared. I'm here, alive and aware, willing to stand above the rest and extend my arms to the misguided and unknowing. I will prove the statistics wrong long before they have time to settle into your perceptions. You have no idea what I've had to go through to beat the test. The societal expectations of me can go, and quite frankly, so can you. So be gone. Don't linger around trying to find weaknesses in my character. You won't find them. My integrity is beastly. My confidence sickening. My future is bright, and my current ain't frightened. I am my father's son, bold and beautiful. My mother's rock-solid jewel, my brother's stability, unwavering and supportive, my sister's vulnerable, open, and safe. I am a friend, protector, lover, warrior, leader, educator, and motherfucking sexy. I am your worst nightmare, a black man with the audacity to know his worth. Thank you, thank you. Sometimes, you got to be your own hype person. Sometimes you got to look in that mirror and say like, bitch, you cute. Sometimes, you just got to tell yourself something. Real quick, tell me, say this real quick. I love myself. I love myself. Come on, people on the interwebs. I'm sexy. I'm sexy. Somebody give me $1 million. Say it. That's what I'm talking about, damn it. Yes. We all need a little, confidence and some money. Speaking of confidence, I'm sure y'all have as well, but sometimes I, look at myself in the shower, or after I get out of the shower, look at myself in the mirror, and I got, some things to tell myself. So I like to look at myself in the mirror after showers. Just said that. There we go. Collective looking at each other looking at selves in the mirror after showers. There we go. Watch the fresh water caress my beautiful melanin. Moist and dark, my muscles pulse from the cool air. While the water beads down my body, just as the gaze on the mirror reveals my masterpiece, I affirm myself with, damn, I'm sexy. Call this my God voice. It lives to serve me and only me. Has a cigar smoking, old school, cat leaning, sick hat with a slick back kind of vibe to it. My God voice is from Detroit. Is the meaning of survival, and though I haven't made it this far alone, my tongue is the survival to my soul and knows all too well the need for speaking life into itself. My God voice is bald, 6'3", and a solid 290. Whereas a black hoodie is black as fuck, and a black city submerged in indestructible skin. Oh, okay, my God voice is Luke Cage. Or at least matches the speeches that he uses. All attitude and wit cutting through the bullshit from people's mouths. My God voice isn't a fad, one-hit wonder, or clickbait article, meaning this poem needs to be the realest shit it's ever written, and you best be listening. My God voice knows depression, can remember late nights cast with suicidal thoughts, knows the duality of privilege and wearing a bullseye for skin, so at every chance it gets, my God voice sings the freedom songs of its ancestors to remind itself why it is alive and powerful. My God voice doesn't run its mouth just for the hell of it. Has too much real shit to fight for, to live for, to be strong for it and work towards. Won't bow down to false prophets, instigators, or demigods too lost in their own world to realize their voice is much more precious than petty shit. Which is to say, my God voice don't have time for lies, sorries, or pity. It looks at itself in the mirror after showers in awe of its magnificence, ready to resist another day. Thank y'all for being with me on that. That was great. I felt awesome. I feel like we just warming up, but we got a couple more for y'all. We got a couple more. Thank you. This feels amazing again. Brooke and Emily Dickinson Museum and wonderful, wonderful patrons here. Thank you so much. This next piece is titled Rise, and it's meant to get you moving. So if you feel like moving and grooving, you want to stand and dance, do your thing. If not, vibe out. People on the interwebs, feel free to dance. Ain't nobody looking at you because you at home. Cool. Word. This is titled Rise. Flowers on drums. Word. I see y'all back there vibing out. We appreciate you. Thank you. See, look at that. We're calling out to the masses and we're bringing the masses here. When you build it, they shall come. Yeah, movie quotes 101. Word. So we are upon our last piece of the evening, and again, thankful for this opportunity. A lot of the music, much of the music that you all heard are original compositions from me, enhanced by this beautiful group of people behind me. You can follow me on all the interweb things, Instagram and Facebook, television, TV_Hall, HALL. My website, timvhall.com. Please follow, reach out. Yay! I appreciate you. Thank you again. So please follow, please continue to support art, writing. What you are preserving here is important. What you are uplifting and amplifying here is important. Spaces like this impact individuals like myself who need some sort of thing to connect to and find themselves in and explore themselves in and come to understanding in themselves in. So continue to support the arts, continue to support local artists. I come from that environment and that will always be a part of me. This next piece is titled Trust the Process. It is a piece that I wrote for me, and y'all happen to just be in the room. So whenever I perform this, I'm performing it for myself, and I hope that it sticks and it lands and it resonates and it connects and it's lasting. I was going through a really, really challenging time in my life, personally, family, relationship, and I was taking a class, a writing class, and my professor just saw that I was like, it was rough. I was looking rough. So she sat this rock on my desk, and it had Trust the Process written on it in paint, and it, for some reason, was just like, boom. I needed whatever that was. Whatever that moment was, she just felt it and was like, here, you look like you need it, and I did. And that turned into me writing my first book of poems titled Trust the Process. It turned into me creating an EP years later called Trust the Process. So that EP is out right now on Spotify and everything. And it's turned into a mantra, a way of life, a reminder, a tap on my own shoulder, my own pinch to remind myself to trust the process. So trust whatever process that you're in, that you're going through, that you need. Believe that, trust that gut feeling that you need to trust whatever it is that you need to trust. And would love more crowd participation. So when I raise my hand, all I need y'all to do is say trust the process. Cool? There we go. Cool. When the day looks impossible, the couch feels comfortable, and sun rays splashing through the bay windows look uneventful. When a conversation with your partner seems daunting, and your feelings eat away at your tongue's ability to produce words. When depression is the dust that refuses to be swept from the floor, and all you want is freedom from having to clean up the destructive thoughts that fall. When song doesn't sound beautiful, and melody no longer scales your arms with goosebumps. When fear resembles the worn notebook in your book bag, the unopened Evernote app on your phone, or the twice folded Post-it notes dusting your desk that stare. And they stare and they keep staring at you and they're annoying and they stare and they're like, right on me. You're like, no. And they stare at you and you stare and they stare and and you still don't touch it. One, you are tired. The couch is still warm from the imprint of your back. The outside taunts you to stare in its direction. Close your beautiful eyes and let the heat wash the tired away. 2, your words hold value, use them. It is impossible for your partner to know the lining of your mind or heart or hurt. 3, when the dust settles, you will still be a person, all pumping blood, moving limbs, and processing mind. Press your quaking hand against the valley of your chest, the home where your survival lives, the carrier of your liberation. 4, sound waves need not an ear to be heard, nor a piece of skin to scare. Listen to the silence in your beautiful body and welcome the music in your story. 5, of your healing, of your hope, of your mindfulness, of your deliverance, of your pen. Thank you. Nice. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can we please give a round of applause for the Earth Tones, for Ryan Reverser on guitar, Chris Hamlin on keys, the amazing Christina Edwards on drums, my brother Bobby Boucher on bass. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Emily Dickinson Museum. Thank you to the staff. Give it up for the sound people, everyone that set up this space, that curates this space. Thank you so much.
Tim Hall and the Earth Tones, everyone! Woo, woo, woo! Thank you so much, band. Thank you for your wise words, your wisdom, your energy. Thank you for the beautiful music. Thank all of you for being with us tonight. We have more Tell It Slant Poetry Festival coming your way. There is an open mic and featured reader Nathan McLean on Friday night back here under this tent. We have Saturday night headliner night with Pulitzer Prize winning Tahimba Jess and Sumita Chakraborty, who will be reading their poems here, and lots more in between virtually and back here on site. Thank you, everyone. Donate to the festival if you can. We really appreciate your support, and thanks again for being here. Have a great night, everybody.
And lies and guilt was laughter around